I think we
What do we?
ran over on
I was
it.
gonna say we ran over, right? I figured. I knew it was gonna happen. I talked too much. I'm sorry.
That's all good. I mean, there's no set time on it. I think Instagram has a set time, but I mean, yeah. On the topic of that, yeah, I've heard people had good things training with him. I mean, I've never trained with him personally. I know Angel's done a session with him. I know Mike Pan has trained with him
Mhm.
before.
I think
Uh,
he's got such an advanced approach that it's not that, again, a beginner should take his class, but he's got such a crazy advanced approach that he is a great dude to take, even as a master grand master level. Like, there's a lot of guys that they think they don't need to take a class past a certain level. I wholeheartedly disagree. I don't think you should exclude anybody. I just like, hey, Mason is one of those guys that, like, if you're going to be a competitor, he's really good at not only teaching you the hardcore skill side of things, like some of the guys who you're going to shoot like 1,200, 1,500 rounds in 2 days, but he's really, really good at keeping it on the competitive thing. Like, we're not going to try to beat this drill. We're going to shoot this drill with the understanding of how it applies to us as competitors and how it works as shooting and how to progress through it. Like, I think that's why I like Mason's class so much, because I've talked about this before, but I'm sick of the attitude of trying to like beat drills.
yeah,
Like, no one's giving a Bill drill patch or an award. So like, stop trying to shoot the best doubles. Once you've achieved what we need to achieve, which is a sub quarter second split at a fist size group consistently, move the hell on. Stop trying to beat drills. And Mason was very good at structuring his whole class about like, this drill isn't, it's not important to like set a high hit factor now. It's important to understand this drill works on this for the reason of this, and you take this forward. And I now model a lot of my classes out of that. Like, there's, this drill is good for this. You are going to shoot it here for this reason, and this is how you use it forever. I want you to dry fire it like this, live fire it like this, blah, 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 blah. It's not, this is super secret Sam drill, we're going to do it today, and then forget about it. That's doing a disservice. And I don't want any of my drills to be like a silo of just like, hey, just get good at this, just get good at this, just get good at this.
right.
I want to get good at this because of the greater scheme of things, and I want to be able to tie all the things together.
It's
So,
the skill, not the
yes,
drill,
yeah,
and that's
yes.
why that was one of the biggest things I loved with Tom's class. Is um, it directly applied to being an athlete in the
The
sport. Like
application. Yep.
our goal is to get good at the
Bingo.
sport. That's what we
Yep.
did.
Bingo.
We worked on the skills that produced good results in
Yeah.
the sport that
And
we were
you
trying
might
to compete at.
individualize a skill. You might do this skill in this drill, but it's to then get back
Right.
to killing the stage, killing the match, killing the performance side of things. Not so you could just do a super secret thing. Like, we're not going to just be the fastest at one stupid.
Every
So
drill
like,
we did directly correlated to we had a stage in one bay, we had some drills in another bay.
yep.
We didn't do a single drill that didn't directly translate over to match performance.
And that's a well formatted class right there.
Absolutely.
That's why I like these high level competitors who also teach, and it's not one or the other. Like, he's good. He's very, very good at then saying, this drill is for this, and look why. This drill is for this, and look why. So it's also like, you're not hiding behind patches and one-time performances. Then you're very comfortable saying, well, this drill works in this, and let's go see, can you feel it? Because it worked for me. Are you just going to work for you? Like, I bet it will. So it's interesting to start to see that. Like, there's an important portion of these classes now that, like, I'm sure there are people out there that would benefit from just going and doing a drills class. Like, if it makes you a better shooter, that's a good thing. But if I could make you a better shooter while making you a better performer, what's the loss?
Well, it's also about, are we trying to be good enough, or are we trying to be the
Bingo.
best?
Yeah.
If you want to just go run some drills and earn a patch,
Yep.
I'm assuming you're okay with just being good enough.
Yes. I agree.
Or if you're okay with doing subpar things in class just to feel good, you know, we're working towards being good enough. If you're looking to really push the envelope of what you're doing, get tortured a little bit while you're doing it, and work to apply things to get better, I think that's working more. I mean, a lot of people say like practical shooting. I like to call it like performance shooting, because we are performance based.
Yeah.
We're athletes, right? We play a sport. We're athletes.
Yeah.
As long as we're doing it consistently.
And I also like that, because performance shooting, this whole athlete thing, I don't know why that was ever viewed as a bad thing, because I'm like, well, yeah, I'm trying to get beyond the necessary skill set using a sport. Doesn't that sound like powerlifting? Are you going to jump in a squad car with some weak, skinny bitch? Or are you going to do it with the guy who can help you when it comes down to it, right? Like, you're going to want the strong guy. Okay, well, then everybody loves jujitsu now. All right, so you're about to run out the door with your partner. One of the partners you could choose is a black belt in jujitsu. The other guy is not. You're going to take the guy who plays a sport game with
Right.
you.
And you
It just
lift.
seems so fucking obvious to me. It doesn't seem like controversial. It just seems like, yeah, he's a subject matter expert in one of the skills you're going to need. Why is
Mhm.
that viewed as a bad thing? Why are we viewing it? It's not for the police. It's like, you shouldn't only be a practical shooter. You should do all the things, but you should use practical shooting or performance shooting to like understand the shooting portion of things. Like, you should do jujitsu. Like, you should do this. Like, you should do this. You know, like, there is an application to all of it. It's performance shooting is just like, well, if you're going to use a firearm to perform in any way, shape, or form, shouldn't you train in such a way that encounters adrenaline and cortisol,
Yes.
time restrictions, accuracy? Like, that just sounds normal to me. I also love the whole thing because the people who hate the timer hate competitions. I'm like, all right, so what's the difference between the chemicals that enter your body when you get shot at or when the timer goes off? Explain them to me.
Yeah. I
Because
mean,
I've
the
got out of
people
my way
that
to
refuse to
know
use timers just suck and they don't want to admit it.
it's
I mean,
adrenaline and cortisol.
yeah.
No matter what you want, when you go, oh, it's adrenaline and cortisol. I don't care if bullets are coming at you or if a timer goes off. So if you can train under adrenaline and cortisol, when those things enter your bloodstream, whether you choose them to or not, you will react in a better manner. We don't need to talk about hit factor. We can just talk about, if you train in a performance shooting manner, you're better off when things go wrong. Period. It's just so easy. And it's just like, it's funny because Cody's saying it right there. Because even if you go into the like competition side of things, I'm only asking for people to shoot like 0.25, 0.24 and under splits. I'm not asking you to do insano things. I'm asking you to do high level things, yes. All of them at a high level, though. Not one of them beyond a high level. I'm asking like just let's perform consistently instead of trying to drive one of these things. Like, I know, how many guys do you know that has like a fantastic bench and can't squat for shit, right? I don't want to be that guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I want to, yeah, it's this sport holds you honest to all these kinds of things. Is why I like it so much. You can't hide from hit factor. You can't hide from numbers.
Our stats are public.
Yes. Which is, I love.
But
I love. I was
it's like
just
what you're
mentioning this
saying, like
today, and I'm gonna be specific to not mention names because I don't like, it's just, I don't like that. I don't want to talk to people online more than I have to, so I don't like to start fires. So and it's not that I think anybody's right or wrong. I don't want to talk to people more than I don't have to online. So there is a guy who posted recently, a very famous on Instagram, very popular guy who posted he was at a match. So I went out of my way to go and go right on practice score, because if you're going to advertise as a masterclass shooter and you're going to tell everybody based on my sport what you are, I'm going to go and check on you. And when I see a 62% at a local match, that is abhorrent. That is hilarious to me. So I love this sport in that you can't hide either. There's no hiding. You can't cheat and hide. You can't sandbag and hide.
right.
You cannot do it. You will get found out sooner or later, and you have to be honest and perform in the sport. So it makes me happy that we have this, like, you can't hide. And I mean that in a positive way too, where like you can't hide behind some trope of, well, my staff sergeant told me to do this 20 years ago because he killed this guy and he want to fight. It's like, let's just put it on a hit factor scale and see. And then let's see if it works at a match all the time.
It's accountability.
Pretty simple.
I mean, I think we all know people that sell on a master class, like actually sell classes on a master class. And you look and you're like, well, you've only shot class fire matches.
And they might be a B class shooter. Might be.
Yeah.
Might.
You're like, well, you haven't competed in a year. And you only shot class fire matches that I'm assuming you've probably set up yourself.
And then I also have the whole thing of like, look, you have to shoot these matches. And I've had this conversation with a couple instructors, and like, you don't owe anybody anything. Let me be very clear. You don't owe anybody else shit, but you owe it to your students and you owe it to your people to be out there practicing what the fuck you preach if you're going to preach it. And you owe it to these people to be accountable to say these things work, but this is why. and this is why not, and I've tried all these things. So I'll say it time and time again. You as an instructor, it is your responsibility to make the time, to have the priority to go test the things you're telling these people to do. Because like it or not, you're telling people gun skills that they're going to go use in real life.
Mm-hmm.
And if they have to use it in real life, you better be fucking good and well happy with what you're telling these people and be able to back it up. And it's not something that you told somebody else, that you told somebody else, that you heard from somewhere else. Take in all the information, but go try it at a match. And if it doesn't work in a match and you can't perform at a high level, don't call your class mastery this. Don't call it performance level this. Don't sit there and for 3 days stand on the 3-yard line and hammer bills and tell anybody they're doing high performance anything. It is ridiculous to me that people are getting away with it. I say it like this because they're getting rooted out very quickly now. It's becoming very apparent to people that I shouldn't be able to beat this guy instantly in his own drills.
Right.
That shouldn't be happening.
I mean, on this topic, do you think that people that competed at maybe a subpar level in their past haven't competed in 10 years maybe, but are teaching quote unquote high level classes? Is that something you deem like, all right, you're kind of
I always say it's a
on the
red
way,
flag.
or
it's a red flag. That's all I'll say. Now, I will always say to everybody, this is your shooting journey. If you would like to be like that person, if you want to shoot like that person, if you want the results that that person is giving out in the world, I'm not stopping you. This is capitalism. This is your money and time to waste. But it's always a red flag to me if you can't do the things you're teaching, or if you've never done the things you're teaching. Let me say that, never done. There's fat old gymnastics coaches that are sitting there that are gold medal coaches because at one point they were, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, but then I know that's a very specific example, but like, yeah, it's like performance is a tough sport. You have a very short window in a lot of performance sports, right? There's this one's a weird one. We might be able to shoot into the 40s, maybe 50s. Look at JJ, you know what I mean? Like we might be able to do this for a very long time, but there's a lot of guys who were really good at things and does it apply anymore? It's the same thing as I was saying. Like I don't want to be basing my tactics off a war story from 20 years ago either. So like, right? It goes both ways. Where like just because you were good at something doesn't mean you kept up. I want to make sure. Did you keep? That's why I say it's a red flag. It's something I'm going to look at. I think it's a green flag when a high-level Grand Master Super Squad competitor is teaching classes. I think it's just like, well, yeah, it works. It says he works. I'm going to jump into a Mason class. I'll jump into a Tom. I'll jump into these guys who like it's a green flag. Now, I'm not saying a red flag means no. I just mean vet your people, man. Vet your instructors. Are you seeing the value in what they're teaching in the results out there? Is that who you want to be? If not, choose a wiser mentor. If it is, nobody's here to stop anybody. I'm not here to I hope at some point I win you over to my side of things. I hope you meet so many bad instructors you settle on, you know what I mean? Like I fully believe that if you go to a bad instructor, you'll feel it and you'll pop into my side at some point. So I'm not here to shut down anybody else's business or take food out of anybody else's mouth, right? Like that's not my job. My job is to put food in my family's mouth and be the best instructor and best competitor I can be. I talk with the experience that I've gained up to this point. You know, I might have a sharper attitude and a worse attitude than most just because of me, but
yeah, I mean, there's definitely a few instructors that come to mind. I mean, I'm not in the name gaming thing. I don't care to start that, but
no, and I always say I take things very seriously, not personally. So like, I take it seriously in that I mean what I say what I mean, and like I'm very serious about it. But you take no space in my heart or soul outside of the conversation. Like I don't give a flying fuck after. It's just, dude, do what you do. If you can sleep at night, good for you. I wouldn't be able to sleep at night, but I can.
Right.
I'm cool.
I mean, the bare minimum I look for, this is personal. If I'm looking to learn from someone at a certain level, I want to see that they're at least doing the thing that I want to learn from somewhat regularly.
Bingo.
Obviously, we know performance can dip as you get older, right? But at least that they're in the game is something that is, to me, a very bare minimum.
Yeah. In the game, studying, changing, like not just teaching the same thing year after year after year. I think that's a big red flag too. It's like, hey, if the class hasn't changed, if you take a class a second year and you're having deja vu,
right,
that's where I would want my money back. You know what I mean?
Right.
Now, that's funny because you could take a Tom class twice in a row, like 2 years in a row, and you wouldn't have that thought with yourself. I'm
Absolutely not. I'll be taking Tom's class
so I'm
next year.
excited to take Mason's class again, and I hosted it last year. Like, I'm excited because I'm like, I know he's going to bring to me the lessons of what worked and didn't work over the last 6 fucking nationals he shot.
Yeah.
Because remember how many nationals we all get to shoot now. There's IPSC and there's 3 US nationals, and then Mason is down where, or overseas or somewhere, shooting some other nationals in some other country and taking their hardware back to US. So I'm like, all right, I'm excited to see how he changed his class based off of what he learned from this last year. You know, if you're not out there doing that, then I could just study everybody else's results too, you know.
Right. I mean, the biggest red flag to me is someone that's not open to learn.
Yes.
If you are like so married to your ideas that like you, I don't know, like they're not coming off of you.
I forget where I heard this, but somebody told me, an instructor told them, your kung fu plus my kung fu equals no kung fu, and I almost blew a fucking gasket. I could have lost my fucking mind hearing that, because first of all, as somebody who is a black belt in martial arts, that's a retarded thing to say. Like, that's literally I mean that word. What?
Is this the current instructor?
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's a high level current instructor.
I think I know exactly who you're talking about. I don't remember.
It was literally somebody came from their class and they told me that, and they meant it as like a point of pride. They were like, oh no, I do it this way because he said this. And I was like, so all the training you did for the last 7 years is now done? Like, it's retarded, it's dumb, and you have to do it this way? That sounds wrong to me.
Hey, but it feels good. It feels good.
So it's like, oh yeah, here's a super secret pill, and like, yeah, you're gonna have some you'll have some feel good effects for a little bit, and then you'll realize, oh, this isn't working. Shit, I got sold snake oil. And yep, that's a lot of that now, and it's annoying, right? And it's annoying. It's a lot of guys out there who are putting up their 15th or 16th try to drill, and they squeaked out a good time, and they're not mentioning the fact that they can't do it again, and it took them 15 runs to do that, and then they're trying to tell people how to do it, having not mastered it, clearly. Yeah, so it's annoying. It annoys me because, again, I take this very seriously. I'm serious about what I do, but I'm like, hey,
you're living. Yeah, it's quite literally you're living.
Yeah. So if you ask, like, when I hear these things, when I talk about those things, it's annoying. But I'm like, all right, yeah, you know what though? At the end of the day, like, I know what I do. I know how it works. I see people happy. I see people. My big thing is, like, are you actually progressing towards your goals? Like, are you? I didn't give you a patch to make you feel good. I don't give a shit. Are you, like, my patch is when I get a text on Monday that the match yesterday was really good. That's the patch. That's the award. That's what I want. Like, that's your and my award, by the way. Like, I'm not giving shit out, and I don't expect shit back, but, like, that's the award. It's like, yo, that thing you told me and whatever we've been working on, I just crushed my match on. That's awesome. When I see Cody was just at a match last Sunday, I had 5 people in the top 10. I'm like, that's where I'm like, yes, fuck
results.
Yeah. I don't need to. I'm not going to go on and I'm not going to go shit on anybody else. I'm not going to go out and tell everybody that's my win. But I'm like, that's why I do what I do. That's why I can sleep at night happy with what I do. I'm going to keep doing what I do. Goodbye.
Yeah. I mean, when your mentorship produces results,
yes,
that is quite literally the reason why quite literally the reason why you do it.
Yeah.
That's why
I mean, right now
I
know Tom was just with a couple of them, but I have 5 students going to the PCC Worlds. So it's like, that's amazing. Like, that made me more excited than most match results I've gotten. I've got a husband and wife super senior. I've got a junior girl, her father, and then one of my private clients that are out here all the time, just men's 18 to 55. Like, holy shit, man. Like, that's, whew, okay, so I'm going to keep doing this. I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. They're happy. I'm very happy. Like, that's amazing. And it feels good. So I'm happy to see that. I don't need to hand them patches or give them things to bribe them over. Like, I don't have to give them like certificates for things and optics and patches. Like, that's not the point. Like, it's not the point. They come to me because they wanted to give me money to get better, and they got better, and then they keep coming back to me. I am very happy to say, like, I don't lose clients to people. Like, I lose clients to money. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes people run out of budget and then they come back next month, and that's awesome. But I don't see people come out and don't come back to a high degree at all. So I think that's my big thing more than anything. Like, I want to make sure I'm positively influencing people. I make sure I'm out there testing all the things I'm telling them. And I've changed along the years. I mean, 4 years ago, I was telling you to squeeze the gun as hard as you fucking can. And now things are different. Why? Because I've changed and I see what works. And I'm very happy to admit, like, there's a better way now. And that's a big thing, is like, if you're still married to old things or old ways or old this, that's another red flag.
You got to be, like we talked about, you got to be open to learn. Mm-hmm. If you are so married to the same ideas, you will never change. Or if you don't even have enough content to have repeat students,
Yep.
because you're just teaching off the script, that's like that's something where it's like, oh, you know, and I've been burned before.
Yeah. I speak from the same, because I've been to those classes where I'm driving home going, what the fuck did I just waste all my time and money on? I've been there 1,000 times, and it's my mission to make sure nobody leaves my class like that. There is not a person who has left the same class not going, he is really passionate, and that was a lot. There's nobody who's left a class going like, wow, okay, I got my money's worth. You know, and I'm very, very, I can say that wholeheartedly. No one's going to leave going, well, where was the content? Like, no, trust me, you're going to leave going, that was too much.
And
in a good
they
way.
Shoot a lot.
Yeah, in a good way.
Because I've also been to classes where, you know, you spend all day in a shooting class and you don't shoot.
Yeah, talking about what works for them and watching. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. All right. Well, off the topic of that stuff, what are you looking for? What are your personal goals for this major match season 2025 coming up?
So it's cool because I actually finished last year with hitting one of my major goals, which was winning a major match. That was a big deal to me. Is like, I've done very well at a bunch of states and sectionals and had some success relatively along the year. But winning Maryland State at the end of the year was big, and it kind of put me back in, like, I'd like to defend that title. I mean, I think that's a good place to start. But my next little view is like, I'm a 1% every day kind of guy. So wherever I am, I want to do a little bit better next time. And I'm like, hey, sectionals is now on my eye. I think Mid-Atlantic sectionals being my sectionals is where I would like to finish in the top 3, if not win Mid-Atlantic sectionals carry optics. And I'm excited to say that and put that out there as a goal, because I have some heat to work with. So it is not going to be some easy go in there to some major match with 55 people in my division. We have some bangers down here at Audalani. So I'm going to have to earn that win. And I know I can do it if I do my job. That's the fun thing now, is it's like, now I have to be hungrier. I have to work harder. I have to be consistent. There's nothing else I can do. I can't affect them. I can only affect me. And that's what I'm looking for this year.
Right?
Yeah, I think
end of May.
Delmarva's coming. That's the end of April, and then at the end of May was going to be sectionals. I think it's the weekend after I come up there. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's the next weekend.
Because that's my wedding weekend. So I wanted to shoot that match. It's literally on my wedding day, so it will be in 2026. I'll be going.
Good excuse. That's fine. I missed it last year because my baby was born. So yeah, it's good excuses. Fine. You're right. But I will say this, everybody out there. I then brought that kid at 6 weeks old to nationals on an RV. So I am done hearing people's excuses about I don't have time. Because I couldn't say anything when I didn't have a kid, but now I got a kid and I'm like, you guys are all a bunch of babies. It's tired. I'm tired, but time is not lacking. I'm just sleepy a little bit. So I think it's going to be a fun time this year at Mid-Atlantic. And then really another goal is I always want to best myself every year at nationals. So last year, carry optics nationals, I was 6 weeks off a baby, and I finished, I don't remember, I just know I finished in the top 7% of people. I don't mean 7%, I just mean of people, the number of people there. I'm weird with numbers. I just want to finish now in the top 20 in carry optics. That's it. That's my whole goal, is I want to come in, I want to finish top 20. I don't need to win anything. I don't need anything like that. I want to be able to be a steady enough shooter that I can say I'm one of the top 20 best carry optic shooters in the country. And now my whole approach to all the shooting stuff has changed a little bit. And hearing Sean Griffith said it, and he credited somebody else, but I'm going to credit Sean Griffith because I heard it from him. These matches aren't a test to your ceiling. It's a test to your floor.
Yeah.
And that's where all my training has been lying now, that I can't have one bad stage, because one bad stage neglects 3 good ones, you know? So like, I need to now train in such a way that I can just have this kind of performance all the way across my practice score competitor app. You know what I mean? That's what I'm looking for. I don't want those graphs to jump. I want 95% finishes the entire time. You know what I mean? So that's really my goal more than anything, is a very consistent finish this year at Carry Optics Nationals. My assumption is that if I do that job, I will finish top 20. You know, it's kind of like a secondary goal if I do that job.
I mean, like we talked about, it's consistency.
Yes.
Like once you get to a level, I mean, obviously we can always work to improve that, and there's never a cap on that. But
Yes.
once you get to a certain point, you're in the running as long as you can keep it together for 10 plus stages.
Yeah. We just, by the way,
Whatever the match
I
is.
don't know if anybody cares about golf, but I just watched the Masters. And the thing I always tell everybody about all these pro golf events, it's like nationals. You can't do one good one day. You got to do good 3 days.
Yeah.
And you have to come in hot and you have to finish well. Like, it's not about having a shining moment, because there's guys who definitely beat what's Rory just won, right? There's a dude that, like, on the first day went like 13 under. Well, he didn't win.
Yeah.
Good. So you can have one good day. You have to be good. Like, you have to be good all the time. You have to have a system that works, and it doesn't matter if you don't, because you can't control other people's finishes. You can only control your finish. So it's like, hey, I need to play that game. I need to stay on my system the whole time. That's it. That's my goal.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, so kind of in closing here, you're coming to Granby May 17th, 18th.
Yes, May 17, 18. I'll be up there on the RV doing my thing with you guys. I'm pretty pumped for
Yeah.
it.
No, it'll be a good time. What can people expect if they sign up for a class with you?
So I love my 2-day, I call it competition fundamentals, but I could call it performance fundamentals at this point. I love the class because it's very much structured, kind of like we were talking, where there's a progression to the drills that all ties them together. And then I tie the drills to the stages and the stages to the drills. And my whole thing is to start to build you a subconscious system of shooting. My thing is consciously speed of sight shooting, and you'll see I'd have to nerd out for a while. I nerd out in the class a little bit with you guys. But my whole system is based off of starting to have a system that works, build enough data on one side that I can trust it on the other side, skills here, performance here. And I'm going to do my best to kind of get people to understand that the progressions are where it all lies. Wherever you leave off with me should be a starting point for the rest of the training for the season, and especially dry fire and things like that. So I try to, like I joke, I try to live in your head when you're training. I don't want you to leave my class and be done with it. I want to kind of live up there for when you're dry firing, when you're training, when you're structuring how you train and how you do all those kinds of things. But I expect to shoot like a match's worth of stages in the 2 days, and I expect to shoot like 1,000 rounds worth of performance drills where it's all progression from start to finish. I mean, it's my class, obviously, and I love it. But I love that specifically. I love competition fundamentals because it's like my favorite thing to do. It's like, that's my baby.
Yeah, no, that sounds awesome. I mean, if people are still in us at the end of this, if they want to sign up, they can either hit you up on IG, hit me up, hit
I have a
Angel
link.
up.
My link's on my website. It's all right through my Instagram. You can ask me any comments or whatever you got concerning the class. But essentially, I try to keep it as simple as possible. If you got a gun, a bunch of magazines, 1,000 rounds of ammo, get good. Let's go. Yeah, I got you. I'll meet you at your level. I'll get you running as much as you can get running. I'm here to meet you at your level. That's my job as a coach. If you're safe and you're accurate, I got the rest. You're good. That's all.
Yeah, I mean that's the biggest thing. We had some interesting things happen at the last class with people, but
it's always a wild card event with the skill disparity. But like at this point, I'm blessed and challenged, and I mean that not sarcastically, with a huge disparity of students.
Mm-hmm.
I have some Grand Master students that are working on going to Worlds. I have some people who are literally brand new and can't walk with a gun in their hands. You know what I mean? I see everybody. So I'm comfortable working with everybody. It's I know I'm not saying Tom's not, but it's always interesting, right? Like it's always interesting seeing the top to bottom skill disparity, seeing cops, seeing civilians, seeing the safety and things like that, seeing who's been around guns their whole life. But I really enjoy like the differences in everybody, because what you're going to see too is like how you learn from listening to somebody else. Like you might apply it to you. You might hear me talking to somebody else and go, oh, that makes a lot of sense.
Mm-hmm.
And it might not, like I said, it might be one of those things where it lies dormant in your mind. It might unlock something. You might hear it a different way because I said it to a different person. So I like teaching to everybody because it's helpful. And I've heard one student relay information to another student in a way I didn't relay it. And I go, dude, that makes a lot of sense. Thank you. So I love these classes because they're very communal. At the end of it, it feels like everybody's bros at the end of every class, every single time. Right.
Anyone from a ski class shooter to a GM can learn. Yeah, that was one of the biggest things I got away from Tom's class as well. It's like there is no ceiling at what you can learn in, because our goal is getting better at the sport. And like, you know, just like we talked with nationals, how can you make your level of skill happen for 30 stages in a row at your best?
Without trying, just letting it
And
happen.
I know you've talked about efficient shooting. A big thing Tom did in his class was break down actually how simple it all is. Because
Dude, I
people like,
love that. Thank you, Tom. I love that. If you look at any of it, you're like, move 6 feet. That target's 8 yards away. Like, none of these individual things are that difficult. They're all, it's so simple. I'm not going to say easy. I will say it's all so simple. If you believe that and train simply, but train simply in random, holy shit, does it make a big
yeah,
difference. If you could start to be consistent, keep it simple. You also, I just posted this like Dunning-Kruger curve that I love of like a new shooter gets into it and they want to keep it simple because it is a difficult thing to get into. And then B-class guys are trying to make it as difficult as possible and they're trying to get style points on the stage, as I call it, and they're trying to do all this cool shit. And then you settle down as a GM and you go, how do I make this as simple as possible?
mm-hmm.
How do I
Yeah,
depend on my
I mean,
skill set because I've earned it? And how do I make this as simple as possible?
yeah,
I love it.
forming a repeatable process that is so simple
Yep.
that you can do it every time and also consciously think the whole time.
Yep.
Like you can consciously think while you're shooting,
Bingo.
okay, now, there's this section, I'm doing this. Now, in my stage plan, what's my next step in my process? That's where I'm going next. Like it gives your mind something to focus on
Yep.
as opposed to just
And
staying
I like it
extended.
because I had to build a system for the same reason. No emotions, and my system's very positive, not in an emotional positive way, in a I will, which works psychologically. So it's nice to be like pretty much in a place where like I can think the whole time I'm shooting. If the shooting isn't to my liking, it's a quick I will pop and you're right back to it. And it's not a lot of nonsense anymore. So I needed structure. I needed a system that worked. It was repeatable. It's my system. As long as you have structure, I think structure that you could depend on, simple structure that you could depend on. It shouldn't be college words. It shouldn't be expanding on, you shouldn't be making topics more and more difficult. You should be trying to simplify it all, but have a system that says if I do this, then this, then this, then this, I get what I want every
Yeah.
time.
And it has to mean something to you too. You can't, like
Bingo.
a lot of people I hear, I'll just use like attack and
Yes.
control targets for an example. Um, it doesn't work as good if you just say
Yeah.
attack and control targets. I mean, this is just one random thing.
No, I know what you mean, because it's funny because I actually I teach, because JJ has attack and control, I don't like to reuse people's words. I say anchor targets and transition targets because that helps me better explain the topic. But I hear a lot of people just like, well, this is attack target, this is a control target. And if you don't understand the concept or the concept doesn't work for you, or you can't use part of JJ's rules, you have to use attack control and all the rest of what JJ does.
Mm-hmm.
So it's interesting. It's got to work. It's got to work all the time, and it's got to be a whole system.
Yeah, and
right? It could
that's
be
just one thing.
Yeah,
but
you
I
could
mean,
piece
you also
together
look
your
at
system,
JJ
but,
and you're like,
yeah.
dude, you're attacking everything.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
in his head, it means something
yeah.
for him. And you know what I mean? Like he can
Yes.
say attack and control, and for him, it
Yeah.
means something in his array that's repeatable.
It's
We watch him and
subconscious.
we're like, that's
It's a
BS,
system
dude.
that's running. Yeah, it's a subconscious system in the background. He's not consciously attacking and controlling things. It's just happening to him.
Right.
Yeah, it's interesting, but
yeah, I mean, all right. We've had some people watching for a while, but thanks
yeah, I
for
got a
coming
crying
on.
baby upstairs, so I know I'm being summoned sooner than later.
But thanks for coming on. Thanks for sharing your experience and knowledge, and we'll definitely
Appreciate
do it
it.
again.
Dude, thank you for having me on. As always, this is an industry of word of mouth, and the algorithm doesn't really do us any favors. So I appreciate you having me on. I appreciate us all kind of sharing our stuff, commingling everything. I'm excited to come up to Granby and train with you PPG guys, or at least be on your range. I'm pumped to be up there again. I like that place. It's one of the only places I get to park my RV on the range where I'm going to sleep. So it's like my favorite thing ever. I don't have to like be a mile and a half away. I literally I'm drinking coffee, looking at the targets we're about to shoot. So I'm pumped to be up there. Thank you for having me on, man. I'm excited for the season. I think it's going to be a good season. We're on a tear.
Absolutely.
We're on a tear.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see you soon.
Yeah,
Thanks, man.
Thank you very much. I'll talk to you soon.
Likewise.